Hello and welcome to episode number 100. How many times? How do I do that?
Whoa!
Episode
Thumbnail right here. Red arrow.
Yeah, with a big red arrow. Being like, we're all looking at it like, what? Episode 100? What?
I can't believe it.
Episode 100, motherfuckers, of the Solo Gamer podcast. My God, they've done it. And we're done. So that was episode 100, and we will catch you all later. No, okay. This has been a long time coming, both literally from the point that we've been doing 100 episodes now, and also because this episode has been delayed for about a month for a multitude of reasons. But you know what? It feels right. It feels purposeful. The universe decided that episode 100 was going to have its moment and some red carpet before it, which was like the month of July and August, apparently. Mm-hmm. So let's welcome everybody in, and we'll get this thing started. Taylor, it is really good to see you, to hear your voice. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to episode 100, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good to be here. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. 3 weeks is a lot, man. So, but it was needed. Good little recuperation, a regrouping of the mind. I feel like I'm back and refreshed, which is good. So, happy to be here. Excited.
Very glad to hear that. Kyle, welcome to episode 100, my friend. So glad that you are here for this.
Yeah, appreciate it. I was kind of on the last end of it. It's pretty impressive to think about that you actually did all 100 of them, to be honest.
Almost.
Almost all.
I think
there may have been, we can round up.
Yeah, we can round up. I think there may have been like, how many did you do, Taylor, with Craig? Like 5 or 6? 10?
Yeah, I was going to say a little less than 10, I would say.
Okay, so there you go.
Something like
so
that.
That's the kind of the fun thing about this, is that like none of us have actually been on the show for all 100 episodes, but somehow the show is more than any one man.
It survives. Yeah.
So if you're listening now, you might carry the torch.
The show is a legacy. Yeah, anyone listening.
You could be a host too.
The Solo Gamer podcast wants you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hell of a summer. Well, it's not over yet, but insane summer for me for work. Up here in Washington, everything's on fire. Pardon me. I've been trying to not cough right into the mic for like the last 30 seconds because I've got like a tiny little itch in my throat here. We have just been choking on smoke for the better part of a month, and it's been hot, like really hot. We can't see our valley really at all. Every morning you wake up and it just looks like Silent Hill. Looks like Silent Hill and smells like someone forgot to put out the campfire and like lit your sleeping bag on fire. That's kind of what it's been like. So not a lot of going outside. I haven't been able to walk my dogs hardly at all. It's just been brutal. It's been a really brutal few weeks combined with work and everything. So just for me personally, I've just not been in a great headspace. It feels like it's getting a little better, but the fires are still raging out here. So hopefully that will continue to improve, and we'll get our view back and be able to see our town.
Yeah, summer's not really fun when you can't see the sun. So
yeah,
or be outside.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's like,
I feel like I had one good weekend in Chelan, and that was after that it was just all smoke.
Yeah, and Chelan is a huge lake about an hour north of us, and it's a little town connected to there, and it kind of a little vacation spot, beautiful area, and it's surrounded on one side by really dense ancient woods, and those are just all on fire. So that town especially, they're even worse than we are with the smoke. But I don't know if you've ever seen like the AQI, air quality index. Mm-hmm. Mine on my phone, I don't know if it's the phone service, like my Google, I have a Google phone, and so they use like a specific version to determine AQI, and everyone has like a different equation. but my AQI maxes out at 500. So if it's 500, it's as hazardous as air quality can get. And we were at 500 for like a week straight. It's been like between like 150 and 200 now for the last couple weeks. So it's pretty bad. You're basically just like smoking a cigarette for every 5 or 10 minutes you're outside, it feels like. So yeah, so it's just basically that's just me just kind of catching everybody up on where we've been. It's just something, it's kind of hot in this office, and that's fine, but it was just one of those things where like I was as Bilbo would say, spread thin, like what is it,
jelly on toast or something?
Yeah, like butter spread on too much toast or something like that. Just every little thing was like a massive inconvenience to me. Like I had like no patience for the life at all. I just, as soon as my horrible 9-10 hour shift of work would get done, I just wanted to just sit and stare and just let my soul reconnect to my body. So that's all over with now. Things are getting a little better. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do all this stuff now. I'm starting to feel like me again. Just looking forward to trying to go to bed a little earlier, get a little more sleep, get some exercise. I want to walk my dogs. I feel terrible for my dogs. I've walked them once a couple days ago for the first time in a long time, and I just hope they survive because she's going crazy. little stir crazy dog, needs her exercise. So we've just been playing fetch in the living room, and that's been her exercise for the most part. So everyone, thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate you guys. We know that that you look forward to an episode every Friday, and we are incredibly privileged to be in charge of creating something that you look forward to. That's crazy to me. So we don't take it for granted. We just it was just kind of the summer times are real tough. Like kind of mid to end summer, it's probably always going to be breaks for me, July, August. So that's just going to be the way it is. But we're happy to be back, and we are going to have a really fun time today. The cool thing about this episode, we have a few different things we want to cover. We did get some great write-ins. We'll absolutely go to. We got a good idea, kind of related to episode 100 and just sort of the show overall, that'll help us kind of discuss how we got into this and why. And then I would love to just talk some games, both what we've been playing, maybe some Gamescom stuff, some things we're looking forward to, some news, whatever, just good stuff. Well, I'm going to try not to go on any rants today. I'm not looking to complain about the industry or AI or anything like that. We're just this is a celebration of us all being together for 100 episodes in some fashion. Us all still loving video games despite everything. And just looking forward to another 100 after this. So we're not going to overdo it. We didn't want to, we were trying to come up with, let's have a bunch of guests and stuff, but it's like, you know what? Why don't we just do what we do best? And let's talk about video games and talk about how much fun we have with them and just enjoy some time. And it just feels like the right thing to do after our little hiatus, if you will. So why don't we start? Let's just get caught up. I want to hear from you guys, both from a gaming perspective, but also just anything you really want to talk about at all for the first few minutes. Taylor, let's start with you, man. I know you've had a difficult summer as well. Both of us had not had the best time, but what have you been doing? What games have you been playing? What events have been going on in your life? What's happening, man? Catch us all up.
Yeah, no, kind of like you said, man, it's been a brutal summer over here as well. I mean, coupled with the fact that it's just been like oppressively hot out here, like to the point where it's like going out and like getting groceries from your car is like a Herculean task. It's just like you're covered in sweat. I've been dealing with like this thing with my car for a while where like one of my tires has low pressure, and then I fill it up and then it seems to leak again and start to go flat. So it's like just been one of those things where it's like, but it's like I don't want to go out and like get it fixed just at this moment. So it's like has to be when it's dark enough out to be able to do it and not die of heat stroke. So yeah, it's just been a brutal summer in that regard. And then also just like work for me has been really tough too. We're kind of in the thick of things right now before things start to slow down and like end of October into November or so. So there's still a couple good months left of like really making a push towards the end. But it's kind of one of those things where you get to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I mean, outside of that, the nice thing is that I feel like I've been able to play a good amount of video games. I replayed through Cyberpunk 2077 recently, which was
Nice.
so fun. It's like kind of crazy how replaying that game again is almost like a like new experience. Which is even crazy for me too, because I was like one of the few people I feel like who played that game at its launch and also had like a really good experience with it even back then. So it's been really cool to like go through Night City, see all of these characters that I'm familiar with, like re-go through those stories, those companion side quests and stuff, and get acquainted with some new ones that maybe I didn't see the first time around. I played through Phantom Liberty, which was really, really cool and had a great time with that. So, yeah, just really excited. I should say I haven't been playing a ton of video games, but I've been playing that one and just putting like all of my time into it. So, it's been a really,
Wow,
really
you sound
good
like
time.
me.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, CD Project Red lately, man, just killing it. We'll talk about
Oh yeah.
later on how awesome they're doing and continue to do. But yeah, I just feel like I'm like in the thick of things right now with CD Project, and it's about to get even crazier.
What has happened?
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Wait, what do you need? What do you?
Sorry.
What?
Bye. I just need a nail polish.
Okay.
She thought my can of Coke was nail polish.
No, it was. All right.
She really, that was a decoy. She really wanted the soda.
Yeah. I thought it's just like, actually, that looks delicious.
Right.
Yeah, the man, you're right though. CDPR, they're killing it, and like you said, we'll talk more about that. But man, I that game, like Phantom Liberty, especially, I think what it adds to the overall narrative as well. The last little bit of that, the end of that whole
Crazy,
storyline,
dude.
my God, I mean, it's just some of the best.
Ton of
They just-
replayability.
Tons of replayability, and I can't wait to play it again. And now I kind of feel like that with Witcher, and that's depressing because I have so much that I am excited to play that I have not played. Both new games and stuff on my backlog, legendary games. I mean, we're talking about, like, I was kind of trying to think about what was going to be my. So I've talked about this before. Like, all right, the way that I can kind of structure things. Right now, I'm in the middle of a couple smaller games that I'm trying to beat that are have sequels coming out soon. And then usually as we get into October, I always like to play a handful of scary games if I can fit them in, because usually those aren't super long.
Same.
And then when you get into December, January, February, that's usually when I pick a one singular big game. If I am kind of caught up on whatever I've been playing, to just be like, this is it. I'm playing this all the way into springtime. And Cyberpunk was one of those for me. Horizon was that for me this last winter. Every year I usually have one of those games, so it's like I have to figure out what that. I really want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I really want to play Elden Ring. I mean, these are big games, and then it's like, oh, how about fucking Witcher 3 again
Right.
for the third or fourth time that's remastered. So yeah, there's it's always tough for me to not replay something. I've got so many incredible games that I've not even touched, so I'm gonna have to try and stay disciplined if I can. Kyle, what? I mean, I'm trying to think about what you've been playing and anything else going on, but get us caught up as well. Like, how's the last month or so been treating you?
Yeah, man. I've actually been having a pretty good month.
Good.
Nothing crazy. I shouldn't say it's like really good. Just nothing bad either. So you got to take
Right.
that as a win in my book.
Yeah, honestly, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm like legitimately glad somebody is like having a good time.
Yeah, I got issues at work and stuff, but at the end of the day, my job is honestly really easy. So I just can't really complain too much about it. There's like things that irritate me and people that I work for and stuff like that, but I at the end of the day, I clock off and I go, I really didn't do much today, so that was kind of cool.
It's the best feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, I definitely have been there. Like there are times where work, I'm at work and it's like, wow, there's not a whole lot happening. It's just very up and down, right? So can very much appreciate.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Outside of that, gaming wise, I mean, obviously, you guys all know I've just been head over heels with Marathon, so just playing a ton of that. Finally feeling like I got a pretty good grip on most of the maps. Just haven't really touched Cryo, but having a lot of fun with it. I think I'm probably going to write it out till September 22nd when the season ends, and then that'll be that most likely.
You think the game will be done, or?
No. The game's, I mean, they've got a lot of stuff in the works. So whether or not people are going to play it, they're definitely working on content for a little while. So
that's good.
Because I was hoping, I was hoping that like the next season would be my re-entrance point. Because I kind of fell off the treadmill there, and I feel like if you fall off the treadmill, you just can't really. I mean, you can play.
The season was really long, though. Yeah, I mean,
so long.
Yeah, and you only need to get. I'm telling you, it's just like, you lose and you lose and you lose, and then there's just one match where you just get loaded with stuff, and you're like, cool, that just made it up for everything that I've lost.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like 10 games.
Yeah. So you just don't really. You never really know when it's your time to get something. I mean, I just recently had a match where me and this team, we were just like hiding out in perimeter and noticed that there was a team with full of gold shields down the way. And we just waited it out because they ended up opening up a key. And if they had gold shields and they opened a key, probably a gold room. Because why would you bring gold shields at that point?
Right. In the perimeter, for sure.
Yeah, why would you risk that for gear that wasn't as good as gold? So all three of us were just like, let's just wait it out. So they ended up killing the whole lobby and ended up exfilling and leaving. And so we just ran around the map and looted everybody and looted those rooms, whatever was left, and ended up with just a ton of purple stuff at the end of the day, and didn't have to shoot one bullet the whole time. We just waited for everything. It's awesome. Like you have games like that where it's like you just got lucky and everybody else got wiped and that team left and there's a bunch of stuff on the map waiting for you. Sometimes that'll happen, but outside of that though, so I guess, if you start playing next season, we'll play it by ear. But if you want to play, of course I'll hop on. I'm just kind of at a point where I've made a couple friends on it, but outside of that, it's like this game is definitely meant to, you need a party of three if you're going to really enjoy it.
And you just need to keep up on it. Like for me, I think I fell off because I think I would have stayed on it if it was more possible to have a consistent group of three all the time. Every time we wanted to play, that was part of it. And then the other part of it was like once I started getting into the really difficult part of the year work wise, coming home from that like insanity to like immediately sitting down and logging in and being in this like hyper competitive mode, which I really like about Marathon, and paying a lot of attention and potentially like dealing with frustration. Usually I'm fine with it, but those two together, like it was just I needed something that was just more
relaxed,
gameplay,
for sure.
Relaxed, Elder Scrolls Online or whatever it is,
totally get
football, just something that wasn't demanding me to be like on my fucking A game. Even though that's what I love about that game. And then I just feel like it demands a lot of your time, and you kind of have to make it like a job. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. Like you just do. You get out of that game what you put into it. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm just not in a spot where I feel like I can consistently put the effort and the time to keep my skills going and to stay up on the contracts and to have a full team and all that stuff, it just like it kind of snowballs, and then it's like a few weeks go by and I haven't played, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait now.
The only thing I would, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say, I feel like I relate to that a lot too. It's funny because I've always talked to one of my oldest friends and my previous roommate, Aaron. He like we always would joke around about how like we'd have like these long work days of like getting pissed off at people or like customers or whatever your job is, right? And then like he would just like get off his headset basically from work to like turn the other way to his computer and get pissed off at people on Counter Strike. And he's like, you would think it would get old for me. He's like, it never gets old. And I'm like, dude, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I need to like disconnect and like play something that's almost like just so passive that it's like, I could just kind of like you said earlier, reconnect my mind to my body. It's like, so I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. No, I've had many days like that too, where I'm like, I'm just not going to play it today because I'm not going to be able to mentally get in that headspace. I will say though, the only thing I will say to kind of maybe change some perspective on it a little bit is, obviously my background with League of Legends definitely helps me in this area, and I think that in the beginning when everything is like so overwhelming and you're just learning the maps and learning what weapons are strong and like position wise too on the maps, each map is like there's definitely specific areas that you want to get to depending on where you spawn, and it takes a while to learn all that stuff, but once you do get that, let me take a step back. The only way you get to that point is if you just let go and stop worrying about all your shit.
Oh yeah, I don't care about my shit really.
No, and I just mean like honestly, like that thought process of like being so into the game and worrying about every minor detail of what you're doing is the exact reason why you're not progressing as quickly as you should be progressing, is what I'm saying. And I'm saying that I'm speaking to myself in that manner because you can get so mentally tight that you're not allowing yourself to make the mistakes that you need to make. And so I personally feel like, especially with the type of game like this, is like you have to just go into the mindset of like, I'm just running out there and dying. I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm not trying to like worry about who's around me. If I hear footsteps, I'm chasing them down because I want to get into those interactions and figure out how to properly fight people and not worry too much about like hiding and avoiding, conflict and stuff like that. Like just go out there and just die a bunch of times intentionally in order to like actually get better and learn the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's my.
Yeah. I mean, I played over 100 hours. Like, I don't feel like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the issue I'm running into is it doesn't really have anything to do with like the game itself. I just don't want to play a competitive first person shooter right after hard day work sometimes.
No, yeah.
That's literally
that's what I was saying is like, I agree with you. I get to that point too. I was just saying like, that's one thing that has helped me a shit ton. And really for the listeners, if you guys are worried about playing that game, you just have to have that carefree mindset to really enjoy the game.
I think it's very true. Like, I feel like most of the best rounds we've ever had were when we were just kind of goofing off. I mean, not goofing off to the point where we were being stupid about it, but just like we're like, screw it, let's just do this, right? And you just run in, you're like, let's go over there. You're not like, it's not like you're.
If there's guys there, we'll just fight them and see
right.
what happens.
Yeah, let's get into some fights. Let's just go have a fun time. And those are usually the times when you end up wiping other teams.
Yeah, exactly.
To your point.
Just get out there and do it. Yeah, because I think the initial reaction, especially for all of us, and I still catch myself doing this sometimes, is like I'll hear footsteps or recognize that there's an enemy there, and my initial reaction is like, shit, let's hide. And that's like, once you've already done that mentally, you're going to lose that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you
got to be ready to. Yeah, you got to be ready to move. Now, not just saying just run into rooms blindly, but if your initial reaction is just to hide, like, especially when you're just learning the game, like you're already making a mistake because you just got to go out there. That guy's probably better than you, and that's okay. Like, just go die and figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think that's good advice. I'd be excited to get back into it. I feel like one thing I enjoy progress in those kinds of games. Like, as much as I think the shooting is great and I love the moment to moment, which should be the most important part, I do like to feel when I come away from a game like that, if I'm going to spend that significant amount of time in it, that like I did something that
Yeah.
like I there's something that's happening in it that wasn't happening the last 20 hours that I played. So that's what I always liked. I think that's why I was so obsessed with like contracts. Let's do the contracts because I'm just like I want to move something forward,
Oh, for sure.
So that's always my thing. I just kind of get hung up on but to your point, it shouldn't even really matter. You should just do what you do and be good. Just
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're learning the map, and I mean that's goal number one is like figure out the map and where the strong points are, and once you do that, like you don't have to be a good shooter, you don't have to be good in combat. You just got to know where to put yourself.
for sure.
I always feel like the seasonal model with games like that though too is such a double-edged sword because it's like I feel like depending on kind of when you jump back in, I'm always thinking about like when is too late, like is it a month before, like should I even bother, like is it little like 2 weeks out, like so it's always difficult with those too because I feel like the intended effect is that you get so addicted to it that it's like you put so much time into that season over the course of 2.5 months or whatever it is, but then it makes like taking a long break from it and going back like so daunting because you're like, do I even really bother at this point? Like,
it just depends on what your goal is. Because one thing I've definitely noticed is there's absolutely no reason to go to cryo until you've hit VIP status on your factions. Because cryo is where you get all of the best salvage in order to unlock the higher tier stuff. And so really, if you haven't put in enough time and upgraded all of that stuff, there's no reason for you to even get into cryo. That's all that there is there.
that's a good point.
So it's definitely one of those things where you got to think about it. Like, what is your goal, right? If you're trying to have team matches in cryo runs and experience that whole thing, well then, yeah, you need to start like early on in the season.
Yeah. And that's always the tough thing now is it's like, that's still probably my game of the year. And I'm just not sure if I'm ever going to be able to put in enough time to make that happen because I'm going to want to play other stuff. Like I'm going to want to play some of these big single player games that are coming out. And if I'm going to play those, I'm not going to get to VIP on all those factions. So then it's like, okay. And then I'm never even going to see a whole portion of this game that I love so much. So then I just do, and then it just makes me push it off and off and off and off, and then I don't play it.
And then that's gonna, I don't want to get too deep into marathon, but that's basically, I view it as that is the worst problem. I mean, you can put the difficulty side of it away, like that's obviously there's a huge learning curve, and anytime you have a game that's that difficult to learn, usually a lot of people are not going to want to play it. It's a big reason why people don't play League of Legends, despite how popular it is. But outside of that, it's just really the amount of time that it takes to put into that is kind of like the thing that kind of scares people away. Is you got to commit to it for a pretty long period of time, regardless of how skilled you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just a tough thing. I feel like that's why people fall off, even when they love it. Like, I mean, for as many hours as I put into it, and as much as I love it, I'm still like multiple tiers below other people on the shelving, just because I do reach a point where I'm like, well, I haven't played Plague Tale yet, and I haven't played this or that, or I want to play Control, and then it's like if I do that, then I'm dividing my attention, and then I'm getting half the time. So it's always a tough thing with those kind of games of service kind of games. I totally get why people get into them. I was totally in. I mean, for all this talk, you probably have 300-400 hours now in a marathon.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know. I have to check it.
Yeah, I that would be my guess because I've played for I think 110, 115, something like that is like my hour count on it.
Yeah.
So it's like I really do want to get back to it. I really absolutely have every intention, probably fall or winter, to at the very least play it the way I was playing it, which is like once a week for a good 3 to 4 hours, plus maybe one or two other times. Like I'd like to give one more go at getting everything that I can out of it. I would love that.
The nice thing about it too is I think Yeah, I also think that they're going to be trying to release as much content as they can because I think they're kind of right on that edge of like this whole thing is gonna crumble if we don't.
Yeah, make or break, really.
Yeah,
I haven't played any of the new game modes either, the heist one or the
Yeah,
the
they
other
doesn't
one.
last long. They're like seasonal things, and that's another thing where I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, it's very clear that everybody wants a PVE mode, so I don't mind that you're like taking away PVE modes, but you should only be doing that if you're putting in a new one
right.
and like switching it up map wise. But they'll just like put it in for like 2-3 weeks, and it's like people jump on to play just that, and then they take it away, but there's like nothing in place of it. So it's like, okay, well, you just lost all those players again. I don't get it. Not sure what they're doing there, but
That's weird.
Anyways, let me continue about my. We just went on.
It's all right. That's what
Huge
this episode,
tangent.
Yeah.
This episode is just we're just hanging out. We're catching up.
Yeah.
We're talking about stuff. Don't even worry about it.
Other games, I've been playing a lot of Total War lately. Getting really hyped with the End of Times coming around. The game
getting
that
ready.
is.
Well, both are probably true.
The world's ending. Let me get a campaign in one last time, baby. Yeah, right now I'm actually playing it's not even close. This is the hardest campaign I've ever played. I usually pretty easily play most campaigns on very hard, like with the campaign map and battles. And I'm playing the Chaos Dwarves, and it's so insanely hard.
Really?
Like I've had to like reset that campaign about 4 times now from the very beginning because I'm like learning new things because I've realized I know that this is usually the case with chaos stuff, but like quite literally everybody hates the Chaos Dwarves. Like everybody, even other chaos factions are like, we hate you. And it's like, dude, I thought we were bros. we're all trying to like end the world. Like everybody wants to go to war with you. So anyways, I'm trying to learn how to play this because you have to like literally every single move that you make, every single building, everything that you do from the very first turn has to be exactly perfect. Otherwise, you're not going to win this campaign.
Damn.
It's so hard, which has been a lot of fun for me to figure out. So I've been trying to, I don't mind that I'm save scumming it up. I'm going back, resetting. Like, this is a really hard campaign, and I want to figure out how the Chaos Dwarves play. Yeah, it's been an absolute nightmare, but a lot of fun. And then I don't know, it's been a month, so yeah, I've played some Baldur's Gate 3 quite a bit here and there. That's been a lot of fun. I picked up Oblivion again.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You kind of been going back and forth with that one for a while.
Yeah, especially because it's on my handheld. It works pretty well for the most part. And then I like logging in and getting my those bonus Microsoft points that you get. So I've been playing a little bit of Oblivion there. Game wise, that's pretty much it. Life wise, though, I started going to school again, so that's been a lot of fun.
Dude, yeah, man, that's huge. How has that been going?
I don't want to say stressful. It's working a lot of muscles that I haven't had to work in a while. So it's just kind of refreshing my memory of like how to not necessarily sit in a class because it's all done online. And the nice thing about it is it's literally work at your own pace. They give you the whole course, like the entire thing is in front of you. And so I can skip forward like 5 steps and then bounce back 3 steps and like kind of work it the way I want to, which is really nice. They have a lot of like counselors that are available for you to like kind of teach you how to operate it all. So the first meeting that I had was really helpful because she's like, you don't have to like go step 1, step 2, step 3. Like you can skip way ahead, figure out what the test is going to be. And then that way you can kind of learn what it is that the test is going to be looking for and then go in the order that you want to at that point, which has been really helpful for me because that's what I've always cared about is like, what do I need to know?
Right.
Like, tell me that. And then I'll go find that information in the program.
Right.
So that's been really nice. Right now I'm just doing like this, like, I would call it like a basic, like kind of like an English class in a way. I'm having to like, create a professional email and set up like a research paper and stuff like that, which is like the exact thing that I hated about school. So that part's has absolutely sucked.
That is
Like I
brutal.
cannot wait to start with my actual program. But yeah, getting into software engineering, I've talked about it for well over like a decade. It's felt like of like wanting to do software engineering. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of like actually get into the real meat of this program because I know that once I start doing that stuff, it's going to be way more enjoyable. Right now, I'm just trying to get through this preliminary class and move on. But no, it's been fun, man. It's you know, I think in the beginning it was like kind of definitely getting in my head because you know I'm 33 now and haven't been to school in 15 years, which is crazy to think
isn't
about.
that insane? Oh my god.
So you know, there was definitely moments before I was getting signed up, and even after I got signed up, I was just kind of like, "What am I doing? Like, what did I just sign up for?" And kind of got intimidated about it, and like, not sure how I was gonna do. And then, yeah, and then once I started doing it, I was like, "I should have done this a long time ago." You know?
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but I feel like I don't believe, you know, when someone says everything happens for a reason, like I don't really believe that from a universal spiritual fate, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
weaver kind of way. But just
right.
like I feel like we just a lot of times when we achieve something or we start something that's hard or start a new adventure or whatever it is, like if it felt like it took too long, it's because you needed to go through whatever you needed to do, whatever you already did to be ready for it. If you had forced it a couple years ago or 5 years ago, maybe it wouldn't have worked out, you know, because you weren't in the right spot yet. You weren't living where you were living, or you, whatever. Like, who knows what was going on, but it, the fact that it's working right now should, I feel like that's your evidence that like you picked just the right time. You know, I feel like we're always trying to compress everything and like I should have this all done by 25 or whatever, but it's like that's just not realistic or accurate or true to
For sure.
most people's experiences. And I don't know, it's just like I mean, hell, my mom went back to college. She was older than you are now. So, and we've known her my whole life. She's been doing the job that she did because she went to college. So it's like,
Yeah, my mom did it.
We never even thought about, you know, the fact that she was 30 something when she
Right.
finished school. Like it just didn't even cross our mind because there's a lot of life to live. So I wouldn't be worried about that. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. I you know, just to kind of, I will give myself a little bit of credit because I knew at the, you know, especially when I was 18, that I was smoking a lot of weed and partying, and like, there's no way I was ready to like sit in a class and like,
you would have flunked it.
Yeah, there's no way I was ready for that. And I think now the reason why I am doing it is because I have a very clear vision of the type of life that I want to live. You know, I want to be able to take my job and be a little bit nomadic. You know, I travel a lot, obviously, and software engineers do have the flexibility of being able to kind of travel while they're working. So now that I think that's really what I've always been looking for to like finally get started into school, is to like have a clear vision of what it is I want to do, the life that I want to live.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, and this happens for a lot of people, like you're saying. It took me until 33 to finally be like, that's it. That's what I want, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you got to see stuff you got to like do things you realize you don't want to do. Like, you know, or sort of get forced into, like, for me, I mean, I've been on a weird path to where I've gotten to, and like I don't even know if that's what I want to do or what steps I want to take, but we're having some weird technical issues right now. So what we're going to do is stop here and then I'll cut back in and I'll just figure out a way to like connect the two back. So give me 1 second here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well maybe this will allow me to get my hello properly without the puberty break that I had the first time. So we had some technical issues. We've got them at least fixed for now. Taylor's going to sound a little bit different. He's on his HyperX headset, so he's back in the game
like a true gamer.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it sounds like a let's play for like a shooter back in the day. You know, it's perfect.
Right.
It's perfect. So we're just going to keep going right along, and most of you listening will just be like, "Whoa, why do they interrupt themselves to talk about this?" Because hopefully, because I did a good job editing it. Um, so yeah, so we were just chatting, we were just getting caught up. Kyle's going back to school. He's going to be a software engineer, which is freaking awesome. Uh, and I just wanted to to bring a prompt to you guys, and then we'll read some of the write-ins as well. But Alicia brought up a good idea. I was just kind of trying to think like, oh, what could we do for episode 100? What's a topic we could do? And she had a pretty cool kind of a question or like a prompt. It almost felt like a one of those prompts you would get in English class, where it was like write 500 words on, but it was
Yeah.
cool, but less dread inducing than that. Um, her prompt or her question was like, you've done 100 episodes of a discussion podcast where you talk about video games. At what point did you go from a kid or a teenager or an adult playing video games? What was it about video games, and what video games, maybe even in particular, did you play? And what about them gave you the inspiration or the idea or the motivation to feel like I've got so many thoughts in my head about all of this stuff. I want to get it out. And I know there's other people who would also want to do that. And our passion for it is so great that we think that other people might also be interested in listening to that and engaging with it. And I thought that was really interesting. I've never really thought about that. I've never really thought about it as a singular thing. And we've been doing some kind of content creation for so long that I've not really analyzed that. So I thought that would be kind of a fun way to both look back through maybe some memories of TSG and different episodes and things like that, and just prompt some interesting conversation. Are you guys getting an echo from me on your end?
No.
Yeah, I do hear one.
I'm getting a slight.
I hear myself echoing.
Oh, funny. Okay. I'm hearing it as well. We're just having all top episode 100 is like, hey, fuck y'all. We're gonna,
Yeah, dude. No
it's just
kidding.
going to be tons of issues. But you know what? That is okay. So Taylor, you don't have to answer like all of this with all the different things, but just like what's a good example of like when did you first start thinking you might want to do this, and like what about a certain game or just maybe an experience or other podcasters, whatever it is, like what brought you to this point where you're now 100 episodes in to a podcast about gaming?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to think back on. Obviously, I feel like I drew a lot of inspiration from a lot of those like YouTube kind of video essayists who talk about like video games on YouTube. Like just a couple I could think of off the top of my head would be like Matthew Mitosis or like Joseph Anderson or some of those guys. Those were some of the big like YouTube gaming guys that kind of got me to start thinking critically about games. We've talked about before how inspired we were by like the kind of funny guys with Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty and stuff. So I think they were also kind of like a big inspiration for me too. But yeah, I mean, I always kind of knew from a young age that I was really passionate about video games and knew that at some point I would like to do that same thing, just as like a hobby. I've always felt like I wanted to talk about video games and kind of get my thoughts out there, and I felt like that was always kind of the best passion to kind of put out there. Like I've always been into football and been into sports, kind of like you guys too. So that's always been kind of like one of the many loves that I have. But video games are always kind of different. And I mean, as far as like which video games were kind of the ones that made me really want to start talking about it. I mean, like Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars was a big one. The Last of Us obviously was a huge inspiration for all of us here, and I know for a lot of our viewers listening. Um, and yeah, just things like that, I think, got me really into games and wanting to talk about them. And yeah, tons of inspiration pulled from a bunch of different places. I mean, like I've always been into film as well, so like analyzing video games through the lens of like like a medium like that, I've also been really interested in as well. So it started at a really young age and has kind of blossomed into this thing now where I just feel like I have so many years of playing experience that now I feel like I can somewhat competently talk about it. I'm still always trying to learn a little bit more and listen back to myself and see how I can better articulate my thoughts. It's kind of been a constantly growing journey for me, but that's probably like the nutshell answer I would say for that.
Yeah, it's difficult to find an exact starting point for sure, especially when it's something you've been doing for so long. I think we've definitely all improved as podcasters, as just hearing our own voices and changing the way we speak about things, or adapting our speech to, like, oh man, I say this a lot, or I say that. You do it long enough, it's definitely a skill that you improve on. There's no doubt about that. Kyle, how about you, man? I mean, obviously you have started more recently with us, but I would definitely say, like, in my answer, which I'll get to, I would say you're definitely a part of that for me. What would be your take on this? Kind of like where you got the motivation to join in and start doing this, and the way you've seen and played games and the way that's changed over your life. I feel like you have a lot of different silos in which you've experienced games, which makes your takes and your perspective on games interesting and different from maybe Taylor and myself. So, like, what made you want to do this?
Yeah, it's tough to pinpoint a single moment in time, right? I do agree with you on that. Taylor definitely sparked some thoughts for me, though. I definitely, when it comes to like video games, it really started like an actual intellectual deep dive. Last of Us for sure. Last of Us is like just one of those games that makes you think about real life problems, not just the story that you just witnessed. So I think The Last of Us was definitely the first. I wouldn't say the first, but the strongest influence, by far, of like just forcing me to like think about what it was I was experiencing, and then to the point where I was like, "Gosh, I want other people to experience this so we can like talk about it." Like, and so it was definitely the first game where I was like, even if I was like on a date with a girl and like and we were like just starting to see each other or whatever the case may be, if we were like hanging out, I'd be like, can I show you this game? Like, truly, it's a good story. Like, I promise, and just, wanted to show friends that too, of like, just hanging out and being like, I got to show you this game. It's a great story because I want to talk to you about what I'm experiencing. I want to share this moment, So I would say The Last of Us, but I really can't pinpoint it to a game because I think it's really the relationship that you and I have had, that has really been the catalyst of that. Most of you guys that are listening don't really like know me on a personal level outside of this, but even Ian could definitely attest to the fact that I'm just not the type of person to really want to talk a whole lot, unless it's about something that I'm super interested in. And even with that being said, it usually is going to require you to ask me questions to get me going. And so, yeah, I would have to give a lot of credit to you, Ian, in this scenario where it really wasn't a thought in my mind until it was like we continued to have conversations, especially when we started living together in Linwood. It was like a daily occurrence of us talking about it. And that was just eventually just kind of like, man, I really kind of just want to do this on the regular with you guys. That was when I started realizing that was something that I was really interested in, because I do feel like I have a slightly different perspective on it. But yeah, it took a little bit of quite a bit of engagement on your end for a while. And even now it's still, I'm more suited in I want to react and respond to what it is that you're asking rather than taking the lead on it. But I still very much enjoy it quite a bit. I just need something to kind of like spark, set a spark in my mind of like to start thinking about it. So yeah, I think that would be pretty much it for me. I mean, outside of that, it's hard for me to say because a lot of the times I played a lot of games that don't have a whole lot of deep thoughts about it, other than I guess learning how to be better at the game. Because I played a lot of
things like that.
Yeah, mechanics and stuff like that. Like I definitely like getting into those sort of fine details and talking about statistics and stuff like that. And
Yeah, that's
you know.
just as valid a form of conversation about video games too, right? I mean,
yeah. That's when you get more to like the sports side of it,
sports side of it, the competitive stuff, like or even just strategic games, Crusader Kings or Total War or whatever it might be, where it's like, I think that's where, specifically for this show, like the creation of this show is like, I just felt when we started this, when I came up with the idea to do this, it was always because of conversations that I would have where there were no microphones anywhere around, with you or with Taylor or with the original co-host of the show, Arthur. It was always about story-based games because that's the one thing that all of us had in common. And it's not just that we only cared about the story. Obviously, the game needs to be fun to play, but that was like the through line. And just sort of, I remember back years and years ago, this has to be like 20 years ago, maybe 15. There was like an argument with, what was it? Is it Ebert, the film critic, where he was saying like video games aren't art?
Yep.
And it like really sparked this whole, the young gaming community. I don't mean young as in just the people who are young, but just the medium itself is newer than movies, and movies are even relatively young if you want to compare those to books or plays or whatever other kind of sort of semi-interactive time pass. Sports are ancient, books are ancient, the idea of fiction. So like for a long time, that was this big argument, was sort of video games as a medium proving that they belong in the same conversation as movies or film, I should say, or books or whatever it might be, like the great stories. And I remember for a long time that was a big debate and a big fight that people were having, and then it just kind of got to the point where that was no longer, no one says that anymore, right? It's that's over with now. But I still felt like when I wanted to do this show, because we were doing Zero HP before this, Taylor, myself, our good friend Kevin, and Mason, and then Jimmy, and we had everybody in there at one point, just like doing conversations about all these games and having these big round tables and doing gameplay videos. And I think a lot of that was just, for me, like I find that if I don't feel as though there's something constructive happening, not productive. I don't need to feel productive to feel happy, but I do need to feel as though there's something more than just me by myself experiencing a thing. I love to experience the games and film and all this stuff, but like one of the best parts of it is like listening to your own voice about these experiences as you're playing them. And there are so many times where I have tons of conversations with myself about stuff, and there's something that's fun about sharing that with another person. So if you both play a video game and then someone says this about this video game, and your friend listening is like, "Oh my God, yes, I totally thought that too," and then you're off to the races. And that was the kind of conversation that like Kyle, you and I would have as like teenagers until 4 a.m, talking about, we'd go from Halo and then on whatever it was, right? Like whatever game it was we were playing, like we could just talk about it forever and get into these crazy conversations. Same thing with you and me, Taylor. Like we have these thoughts and they're always in the brain. I can be at work, I can be trying to go to sleep, I can be exercising, I can be driving, and I have these kinds of conversations in my head just with myself, and it's not as entertaining to do that necessarily by yourself. And I think for me, that was like the big part of it, is like I started to learn that, man, oftentimes when I bring something up, people will either vehemently disagree or agree, but they care a lot. and we go down these cool paths. And I feel like that's the sort of thing that makes for a good podcast. Like when I listen to a podcast, I like have these people. I like listening to people who really give a shit about whatever it is they're talking about. Which is why, like, you can make almost anything interesting if you have the people talking about it who really know their stuff and care about it. And I think that's where it came from for me, was just like, I started to realize over the years that I would like evangelize these games with my friends, and I could talk to people about the why something is great, and I was convincing people to play games, and they would play them, and then they would like them, and it would be like, oh, that was kind of cool. And I don't know, I just feel like having just curating that conversation, um, in a manner in which other people can join in and listen and then write in, or some they can join the show if they want to, and just kind of creating a community around this thing that's like, it's not just sitting on the couch playing a video game. It's so much more than that. It's like that's how you started. And then you've got all this other stuff that comes along with it, all these experiences and memories, whether it's playing a game, a single player game where you're passing the controller back and forth, or just watching, or whatever it is, playing online together. Like, the solo gamer is sort of a funny contradictory statement, because it's all about us sharing these things, sharing these experiences, talking about these games, where we're kind of getting best of both worlds. We're getting this social sort of conversation that we like to have, but we're also getting our sort of like antisocial recharge time with this thing that we love. And it's this constant feedback loop that is really fun and entertaining. And when I'm playing video games, I'm thinking about the show, and I'm thinking about, oh man, like I think this whole thing I just experienced would be really cool to talk about with Kyle and Taylor. And I bet if we talked about that, it would go in all kinds of places I'm not even thinking about yet. And then we're probably gonna get write-ins the next week. And I think it changes the way I play video games. And when I'm here on the show and I'm talking about a game I'm playing, I'm excited to go back and keep playing. And so it's this really nice like thing where I feel like it's just kind of a constructive, healthy thing that I do, where I can share these solo singular experiences with other people and kind of get best of both worlds. And I think that's kind of why I enjoyed it. And then sometimes there's something single, like the whole Last of Us Part 2 reaction. Like I could never have held that inside of my
No,
own.
yeah.
That we had to have that conversation, and I needed to like get that out, because it was like, there's y'all are listening to this, like this is insane.
Yeah, almost to the point where it's like, am I living in a different reality?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I didn't know that would be like kind of a preview for the next decade almost of, I know that game hasn't been out for a decade, but like it feels like, I feel like that about all kinds of things now, but that was like one of the first things where I was just like, I think we might have had a different experience here.
Right.
I think maybe you got a different disc or something swapped out. And now it's just like a part of my daily life. I love playing video games, and this show makes me like video games even more, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I agree. I always think about too, specifically as it relates to this show, and actually somebody brought this up to me recently, and I wanted to posit the question to both of you guys. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, as you know, about video games, as I'm wont to do, but I remember we had a conversation about replaying video games, and this was a guy who plays like a really like good amount of video games, like just as much as us, if not like maybe even more. And he was saying how he like almost never replays games. Like he'll play through it like once, have a great time with it, and then he's like done with it after that. And you know, I was telling him like, oh, I replay games all the time, and he was like, yeah, but do you think you'd replay those games if you like didn't have a show where you like talked about it? And I was like, I think I would. Only because there are some experiences like that, like Cyberpunk, like The Witcher and stuff like that, that I would play through multiple times and just like never get sick of them. But like it is kind of an added benefit of the show that like I can relive some of that stuff, play through things with a different perspective. Um, Sometimes even like take years away from like a franchise or a series and go back, and like I found that like my own life experiences kind of like inform how much differently I think about those particular games. Like,
That happened with you in Last of Us.
yeah, I was just about to say it was definitely like Last of Us, how that felt to me. So it's just kind of crazy the effect that some of those things can have on us here. But like, I don't know. Do you guys think you would replay games just as much if not for this show?
Kyle, you go answer that first.
Yeah. And this is like not even a slight or disrespect to anybody listening to the show, but that is not why I replay games. I do that purely because I want to. So yeah, 100% I would be replaying games because I do love what we do here, but I try to separate what I want to play from outside of when we've got an experience point. That's one thing. But outside of that, what I'm playing is solely because that's something that I actually want to be doing. Because I try to separate that because of the fact that it can be kind of difficult to force yourself to play games all the times, and then at the end of it, you're like, wait, what am I doing? I'm not even enjoying this. So I think it's important to kind of do that so you don't get fatigued, because I think that can kind of cause a little bit of resentment with doing the show if you're just doing things just to appease the show in a sense, because I want everybody to experience what I actually am genuinely feeling about games and things that I'm excited to play, and not just because I'm doing it just for the show. That to me it would feel a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. I totally get that, and like that can definitely change the way that you see something. And not just the way you see something, the way you experience it as well. It might actually taint your experience of a game. I 100% would be replaying games. Absolutely. I think there's a balance somewhere in there. I think that I know some people. I've known people who will literally just play like the same 5 to 10 games forever, and to me that would be too limiting, because I do like to experience new things, because I feel like then you take those new experiences with you when you go and replay other games. But I don't know. I mean, I would wonder if your friend rewatches movies or shows potentially, because it's the same thing.
I think he
for
does.
Me. It's the exact same thing for me. If it's a game that I love, if first of all, if it's a great game that's really fun to play, it's just as fun to play the second time.
Yeah.
There are some games that I play and won't play again, not because I hated it, but just because I'm like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I will get anything out of that the second time. But there's times where I'll just randomly I really want to play this game right now. I want something that I know I'm going to like and maybe be good at, or can take my own, like, another spin on, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, absolutely love replay. We've had this conversation, a different form of this conversation before, of like, how do you go about deciding when to replay a game that you're in the mood to play, but you want to play something on your backlog, like that whole kind of conversation. And like, I mean, I go through that constantly. Right now, like what I'm playing right now it's funny. I'm playing a crazy mix of stuff. I'm playing a Plague Tale Requiem. I'm about halfway through that right now. First playthrough ever. I'm playing some of the football games that came out, the new ones. I'm just about out of my trial time. And then I am playing Assassin's Creed Origins. So I'm replaying a game, I'm playing a brand new game, and then like the Madden college football has been a complete, like, just I've got an hour, and I just want to play something that just doesn't require any level of, like, I mean, I need to be like paying attention and playing the game and not throwing interceptions or whatever, but like it's a lower commitment. Like, I'm not gonna have to, like, Plague Tale, the second one, I'm having a hell of a hard time with it. Like, it's really fucking difficult for me. I'm enjoying it, but like, I like to have a couple different games going again. Assassin's Creed, one of my favorite series. I've only played Origins once. The remake of Black Flag came out, and I was like, I love the idea of kind of playing through these in a chronological order. I've never done that before, but I was like, I will never see the end of this if I try and add Odyssey to the front of that, which would be the earliest one. That's a
Right.
great game. Love Odyssey, but holy fuck, that game is so long. Whereas Origins, you can kind of like, it's still long, but you can kind of mainline the story, and just do a couple side quests to like keep leveled. But it doesn't shoehorn. You could beat that game in like less than 50 hours probably. And that game is like easy popcorn, like pretty to look at. It's a really good high game. It doesn't require that much of you, and it's just gorgeous. And it's ancient Egypt. You know, it's just awesome. Like, and so I have this balance of like different things I'm doing, and they fit my moods. A replay is like a comfortable thing. You know, I go back to games that I really, really enjoyed, and I want to have that same feeling again playing it.
I mean, before we even started doing the show, I've played Mass Effect, the trilogy, like way more times than I'm willing to admit, you know,
dude, and will again multiple times. I will play through all
sure.
3 of those games probably another 3 or 4 times in my life, I bet.
Yeah.
So that's a great point. That's a great point. And to me, that's just kind of like watching Lord of the Rings. You know,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, you just those are such. Whenever Lord of the Rings ends, or when Mass Effect 3 ends, there's like a sadness that I feel about it.
Mm.
It's like, oh man, these characters, it's gone, it's over. But like that level of sort of sadness I get when I'm done with something like that is equal in sort of the excitement and happiness I get from starting them. So it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if you said who that friend was, but thanks that friend for
great question, but no.
Great question, but we all replay stuff. Let's do some of the write-ins here. We've got quite a few. Craig wrote in. He said, "Congrats, fellas! 100 is no easy feat. Been here since close to the beginning, and it's been awesome watching the show change, evolve, and grow into what it is now. Love having you guys as part of my Friday routine, and proud to have been a part of the show's history myself. I think I have the record for most guest appearances. Not sure. I think you definitely do.
For sure, yeah.
As you all know, me and Taylor are great friends in real life. I told him in the past that even if we weren't friends, I'd still be a loyal listener. I watch not just to support a friend, but because it's a genuinely great show. As long as you guys keep doing the show, you'll have me in the audience. Here's to 100 more." That's a very kind,
very cool
words. And you know what? You know, like I really appreciate that sentiment, because I know that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who has been involved in multiple bands who release music, I can guarantee you it does not matter how much people love you. They will not listen to your music, most likely, generally. And that's fine. That's just the way it is, unless they like it, like outside of who you are.
Well, let's test that theory. Taylor, you need to break up with them right now.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No one will listen to something, like spend a significant amount of time listening to music just because you wrote it, or listening to a show just because you're on it. They just won't.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciated Fane's, you know, when you were doing that, you know, but I don't think I can honestly say I didn't like it the way that I like Radio Silence, you know. So
yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
And it's funny because I've had Will has told me a few times, he's like, you know, because I post your guys' music and stuff like that of like the songs that I really like, and he's like, oh, you know, you're a really good friend. I'm like, I think you understand, like I actually like this song
right
quite a bit. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's and
that's no slight to Will, you know. That's
no, absolutely not. I mean, I think it's, if anything, it's a compliment, because it's you know, Fanes was fun, and I love the stuff that Arthur writes. I definitely have improved as a songwriter and a singer from Radio Silence, from Fanes, but like that, the proof is in the pudding, you know, like we never had over 100 listeners monthly on Spotify for Fanes ever. We never got over 1,000 listens on any one of our songs, and we've done that on all of our songs for Radio Silence. So it's just people will listen to it or they won't, and it's because they'll like it or they don't. And so I really appreciate that. I genuinely believe that because I feel like I've experienced it in other facets of my life.
Yeah, me
So
too.
that's a huge deal, and greatly appreciate that. And it's literally like the reason we're still doing it.
And don't talk to Taylor ever again.
Don't talk to Taylor ever again. We gotta really test this now.
Right.
It's funny because we didn't start this because people listen to it, and if no one listened to this, if we got 0 views or 0 listens on any platform, I don't know if I would keep doing it. Obviously, I'm not expecting to make a living. We have like 30 people that listen and watch, and that's, to me, is like way more than I ever would have expected, and more than enough for me to be motivated to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So there is kind of a
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I definitely do feel like, and I don't even want to say pressure is the wrong word, but I do feel like, a part of a community, and so when we don't do episodes, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way of like, you're kind of letting people down.
Oh yeah.
Don't have much of a say in whether or not we do an episode, but they're looking forward to it. So yeah, I do definitely appreciate that because, we definitely feel it too. We don't like being disconnected from you guys for very long. So appreciate that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that's like, it's really, really cool to have people reach out to me and be like, hey, like, just curious, like, where's the episode at today?
I know,
like,
man. It's
like
so
people
crazy.
reach out to me and ask, and then it also like at the same time makes me feel really bad, and I know that like that pressure of like putting something out that like becomes part of people's routines is like really big for me. So that was another thing over the last like 3 weeks or so too that I was also kind of wrestling with. It's like, man, like we got just these couple people that I know that are like really hardcore into the show, and I feel like I'm letting them down, but I know that like everybody, they've all got my back, and you guys have got my back, and it just fosters a really cool community, and I'm super thankful that like there are even people that miss it, when it's not there. So
yeah, and I think just on the other side of that exact same coin, we have people who are looking forward to our episodes, and I absolutely feel the need to make sure we do it so that they have that. But on the other end of it, I also feel the need to be like, I know I'm not even going to I wouldn't even give it half of what I should on some of these weeks here, and like in these that's probably going to happen, like I said earlier, every year, probably July, August, we're going to miss some shows because it's like I really just don't have I don't have the energy. Like I don't have the mental capacity to even like get myself to sit here and start it. And like, I don't want to ever be like, ugh, like these guys need a show. Like there's no resentment here. The reason they like it is because we like doing it regardless, because we came into it not expecting having it. It's this weird contradictory thing.
Got an idea.
Like, as soon as we start hammering it out and we're like not enjoying it, the show won't be as good anymore. And people won't listen anymore. So I always appreciate you guys being patient and understanding with us when life is hitting us. But I will definitely
spread the word.
Spread the word.
Everybody stop buying cherries in the summer.
Fuck.
So we can get this episode.
No, because I do need a job. So that's otherwise I'm not gonna be able to afford, unless you guys want to hear about me doing nothing but playing the same games over and over. Talk about replaying games.
Yeah, we'll go back to the days of doing podcasts where it's on YouTube with audio, but just like a blank picture.
Yes. Yeah. The Zero HP podcast.
We'll be live streaming on the streets, but we'll actually just be homeless
on the street.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Miles wrote in. Haven't heard from Miles for a little while, so extremely appreciative that he wrote in. He says, "Congratulations on 100. We'll always love listening in on the podcast with every episode, and I hope you all keep it going for a long time. Favorite gaming moments: throwing a 65-yard touchdown to win the Super Bowl in Madden 08 to Larry Fitzgerald."
Ooh.
First ballot Hall of Famer, by the way. He must have heard our conversation about that last few weeks ago. Crawling through New Mombasa in Halo 3 ODST with my buddy Patrick, who got me the game for my birthday. The two of us getting lost in the mystery. That's a great game.
That is a good one.
Playing Skyrim for the first time and being absolutely enchanted by the music and scenery, feeling lost in such a wide world, feeling the winter wind when I still lived in Ohio, then feeling it again in the game. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Very cool. Take me back.
And his last one was endless hours of Crash Bandicoot on my PlayStation 1, probably my earliest memories of playing video games. Very cool.
Yeah.
Those are all great memories.
Yeah, those are really good. We got a write-in from the Lord of the Cream. Cream Lord wrote in. He said, I don't think I got to write in on time to make the episode. Well, yes, you did.
You had 3 weeks.
Because there was no fucking episode, my man.
In fact, that's why we weren't doing them. So if you guys are upset,
Yeah, actually,
no further.
It's all Cream Lord's fault. He didn't write in and we didn't do an episode. He says, in case I did, though, congrats on 100. What has been your favorite episode so far? Also, I'm still waiting to hear Ian's thoughts on Expedition 33. Beautiful game. Looking forward to replaying it at some point.
Dang.
Okay, favorite episode. I'm going to cheat. I've got a couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have 3. I think.
You have 3? Okay. So, well, I'm curious what some of them are, and I don't want to take them all of yours like on accident. So I'll say one of mine.
Okay.
One of my favorite episodes, I'm sure will be on your list too, Taylor, was our 2-part experience point for The Last of Us Part 2, which was like
Absolutely.
that was basically when you first started, because we did The Last of Us experience point first, and then we immediately did Last of Us Part 2, and that took 2 episodes of like 3 hours each or something like that.
Yeah.
Those were the meatiest episodes I think we ever done.
And then follow that up by we played through The Last of Us 1, and that in itself I think was like a 2 to 3 hour conversation. So there's like cumulatively like 9 hours of Last of Us just talking about The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
pretty insane. What's one of yours, Taylor?
One of my favorite ones I think was a recent one we did with our buddy Austin from Would You Kindly. I loved our ranking episode where we were just kind of drafting our video game franchises to the deserted island, and I feel like I just had a lot of fun with that.
It was a blast.
Little game mode. Would love to do more of that stuff in the future too on the show. I definitely think that that's gonna make a comeback here pretty soon. But I don't know. I just thought it was a good time, and yeah, I don't know. That was like one of the closest. I feel like every show, to put it out there, always feels like us like hanging out and sort of talking, but that one in particular like had like a sports charm to it. It's almost like we were drafting a fantasy football team to get like, going out with your friends to the bar or like whatever it was, and just like drafting your fantasy team and just like talking about it and talking shit like, oh, you took my player or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
We need to do
I
more
like that
games
one.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll definitely do more like ranking or tier ranking or whatever, drafting. We'll do stuff like that for sure. No doubt at all. How about you, Kyle? What's one of your favorite? It can be an episode that you've been on. It can be one like before, whatever you can think of.
That's some clever foreshadowing, because I was going to say mine is actually one I'm not on.
I figured that might be the case.
Yeah. The Mass Effect experience points.
That's one of mine too.
Yeah,
they're
those
pretty
are fun.
elite, and I'm pretty pissed off that I wasn't able to be a part of them. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know why you weren't.
I wasn't. I'm not even saying that like literally, but just me mentally in my every time I have listened to that episode, I'm like, man, I wish I could be in there.
I want to talk about this.
Yeah, Kevin was great on there too. I really like those. Those episodes are fantastic. Obviously, a really beloved trilogy of mine, and so yeah, definitely that's top tier solo gamer moments.
Oh yeah. Honestly, a lot of I was going to say some of my favorite ones too are ones that I'm not on. And I love like those first like 10 episodes with Arthur, because dude, Arthur just makes me laugh, man.
Funny, dude.
He is so funny.
I
think all the time about pseudo domestic altercation with the what was it, the Amazon worker.
That was like episode 2.
so funny.
Dude, like all of my show titles came from like the most random, unhinged shit he would say in the middle of an episode, where it would be so memorable that I'd be like, that has to be the episode title. One of them was pseudo. This is like pseudo domestic altercation was the name of. Another one was like COVID kids and something else. Like he was talking about like the COVID kids, the generation that would come out. Basically, he was complaining about like stupid kids that won't appreciate good games like Last of Us or something.
Right.
But yeah, we had a bunch of great. I always try to come up with like either funny or like intriguing or like not super obvious title. Like that's like every single time I make it, I'm like, what's something totally random that maybe you'll only get if you listen to the show, or like it's going to be kind of intriguing. You're like, what the fuck? Like, what is this even about?
You're right.
Like, that's always my goal. And man, he made that easy because
So funny, dude.
he would always
There was
have random shit he'd say.
I remember there was like, so we only started doing video for our podcast as of like what, like 40, 30 episodes ago or something like that when we started back up again.
Yeah.
But one of the moments that like I wish we had video of it, because I know it would have been twice as funny to see it if like you guys were being recorded too, was there's one episode in the beginning when Arthur is talking about playing Sekiro, and he said he says something like, and you just have to be the samurai, and you like have this like pregnant pause, and then you start laughing, and like I wish I could have seen your face in that moment.
Well, cause he was so serious too. Like he just would get so into. He was just trying to describe like the mindset that he would get into when facing a difficult boss for the 10th time, and you know he didn't say it like facetiously or you know
No.
what's the there's a phrase that we always that's like kind of a joke now because it was sort of like in a lot of reviews for video games. Oh, it makes you feel like
Yeah, it makes
Spider-Man.
you feel. Yeah.
Makes you feel like a soldier or whatever. It's kind of this like eye roll inducing phrase that got overused in video games. But like that's what it was like, but he didn't know about that and he really meant it. You know, he was just trying to explain this like fucking zen fugue state that he would get into before playing a boss.
State.
You know? Like that was the way it came out, and it was just so crazy, man. Like,
Finding his inner chi.
pretty much, honestly, dude.
Dude, so funny. And then, okay, one last one that I'll bring up too, because I still think it's probably the hardest I've ever laughed on the show.
You're gonna beat me to it.
And I have tried to go back and find what episode it is, and I can't find it for some reason. So somebody out there is like a random solo gamer chronologist who knows the history of the show well
We're
enough.
also missing some episodes too. Like I'm looking at the list, and some of the ones they just weren't able to like get moved over, or they weren't on there in the first place. Like I don't have those first few episodes, and then I'm pretty sure the episode you're about to talk about we do have. We just don't know. We don't know which one.
I just don't know what it is. But anyway, we were talking about. I think like Craig in one of the earlier episodes brings up. There's a really famous game mode in one of the Sonic Adventure games. I can't remember if it's like 1 or 2, but they have this mode in it called the Chow Garden. That's like, it's like a little Animal Crossing thing where you like take care of these little pets called chows. And I just remember I like brought it up like super seriously because I was talking about the game mode, and Ian just starts dying laughing. He says the Chow Garden. He's like, this is like a cafeteria or something. Head down to the Chow Garden.
I just did not. It like didn't belong in the context in which he was talking in my brain. You know, it's like he said it so just normally. You know, it's like, and it's like, and then we were in the Chow Garden or whatever. It was like, oh, wait, hold on, you can't just say that. You can't just say the fucking Chow Garden.
It's a really famous. It was like a really famous game mode.
It's like the Royal Fork. You know, like
yeah.
That's what it makes me think of an all-you-can-eat like buffet or something.
Oh man, I remember just dying laughing at that, and it was like it took me like a good minute to get back on track and like compose myself.
Yeah, it destroyed us. Yeah, we haven't had a lot of those. Like those moments just have to come completely naturally, and they're few and far. Like laughing that hard, it's few and far between. It has happened a couple times with the
Yeah.
three of us, but man, those are we'll always remember those moments because it's just like so crazy. I think one other one, a recent one that was one of my favorites. I really loved the Alien Isolation EXP,
Yeah.
and I think some of
Ooh.
that is just because I really enjoyed the process of watching Kyle play that game on his stream and talking about that, like getting to the point where you finished that game, Kyle, and we all could talk about it together. It was the first time. I guess it was the second time we didn't experience because we did BioShock first, right?
BioShock first. Yep.
Mhm.
So it's funny because we already done BioShock, but I felt like that one was like very much the like heart and soul of Experience Point because the both of you had never played it and I had only played it once and it had been like a decade. So it was like a really cool with BioShock. I mean, Kyle and I had played BioShock so many times. It's like I wouldn't have even needed to replay that game, but I did because I wanted to. But I don't know. I really like the ones where we all go into it not knowing it, or there's only one person who knows it and a little bit, and then the other two don't. Like the less people have experienced it, the more I enjoy doing
The
the shows.
better.
I think, and I really liked that one. That was a lot of fun. Our Dead Space one, Taylor, is another one I really like.
It's another really good
Experience
one.
points in general are some of my favorites. I love doing that. I love playing a game with the thought process of you're going to be doing an experience point about it. I feel like it changes the way you remember things and changes the way you consider stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really
It
like
makes
that.
that subsequent game replay of that game too, to go back to our earlier topic, like so fun as well. Like it feels nice to put on like a little bit more of like a critical lens, and go back to something like that.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a great point. And then the last one, Bitcoin Vinaigrette wrote in and he said, "Damn, proud of y'all for 100 episodes. Seriously impressive and well done. All the love," which feels like a good last write in for the 100 episodes.
Thank you.
Yeah, means a lot. It's really cool that everybody's listening, and it feels good to be back. So before we sign off, there's some shit going on in games right now.
Mhm.
Like I said, I was playing Plague Tale, so I'm excited to talk about that when I finish it. I've loved the story, loved the gameplay. I'm finding it very difficult. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just my headspace. Like I'm just not doing it the way I should be. I'm just struggling with things that I think I'm getting frustrated sometimes because it feels like it should be obvious.
Hmm.
Like I'm getting kind of stuck in areas where I keep getting caught and I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? And then I'll like look it up and I'll be like, God damn, like really? Like that's all I had to do? Like that kind of
Right.
feeling. So that's been happening a lot, but the story is so good. Apparently I'm only halfway through. It feels like it might be one of those games where I feel like it's a little bit too long. I mean, it's not 100 hours or anything like that. Nothing like that. But it feels like it should be a 10 to 15 hour game, and I think it's going to turn into more like a 20 to 25-ish.
Yeah.
So not incredibly long, but longer than I'm kind of feeling like I should be reaching the end, and I'm realizing that I'm like halfway through.
Right.
So sometimes that just happens, though. I think that might be because I've had some frustration with it. But it feels like it's more like my fault, not. Sometimes I'll be like, this game sucks, but that's not what's happening. I feel like I just need to get a little better. That's what I'm playing currently. And we mentioned a few other things. I'm going on a little road trip, so I'm gonna take my handheld with me. So I'm definitely gonna get down on some ESO this weekend.
Nice.
When I have time. That's been like my dream. Is the handheld ESO. It's just like the reason I bought the damn thing, practically. I just think that's the coolest thing ever. Like connect to the internet and you just can play. I'll just be able to make progress. Oh, it's just perfect. It's like the perfect place to play that to me. Tomorrow, as of the recording. So we're recording on Wednesday, the 26th. Tomorrow, August 27th at 7 a.m. Pacific time, the 25th anniversary edition of the Series X goes out for pre-order. So I'm setting an alarm and I'm letting the universe decide. if I can get one in my cart and process the payment, I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if I can. That's why I'm like, if I can't get it, like if I'm going in, I'm hitting pre-order and it's not working because it's like they've already, because it is limited, and I can't get one, then such is life, and that's all right. I'll move on. The universe told me, don't be an idiot.
Taylor, I think you're echoing a bit.
Really?
Oh, am I?
I could hear
Yep.
myself echoing.
That's what I'm saying. I can, while you're talking, Ian, his the little thing that pops up that you're talking is popping up for Taylor, and he's obviously not making noise. So I'm fairly confident the echo's coming from
It's
Taylor.
probably from the
Oh.
earpiece into the
Yeah.
microphone,
Yeah.
most likely. That makes sense. Well, maybe if I wasn't so goddamn loud.
Speaking of games, though, I forgot to mention I played a little bit of the Classic League they recently came out with. Whole lot of fun. Reminds me of my childhood of going to my buddy Michael's house when he was like the only access to a computer I had at the time when I was really young, and playing some, we would kind of trade off games because we only had one PC to play with. And so, yeah, it's crazy to see like the old school League of Legends with like all of the old characters and how they used to be, because so many of them have been reworked to be, a little bit more modern with how the game is played now. Seeing the old school map and jungle is so hard because one of the biggest things that they've changed about the game over the years is making playing the role jungle a little bit easier and a little bit more forgiving. Because obviously they're trying to get new players to try to learn how to play the game, and nobody ever learns how to play jungle because it's just too difficult. But they made it a lot easier now. But playing Classic, I was just like, wow, I need a lot of health potions. Like, I'm dying out here. Like, to the AI, I'm dying out here, let alone other players.
Did it change more than you realized, or
Yes.
did you know going in that it was going to be a totally different experience?
Oh, I knew somewhat. I was playing with a couple of my buddies who were already had played a few games in it, and so they were kind of giving me a quick rundown of what it's going to feel like. And yeah, it's like back then it was like very specific champions who usually had some sort of lifesteal or were pretty tanky and could take a lot of damage, because the minions were unforgiving and they will do a lot of damage and they'll hunt you down and kill you. So you kind of have to play specific champions that can survive a little bit longer. And then then you have to get out of that and then start worrying about the game and the map and playing the other players. And so, yeah, jungle was a bitch back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't get into playing jungle until later. And now it's like, pretty much any champion, I should say, can play jungle. You're not really worried about that. Really, you're just thinking about viability wise. Like, if I gank, am I going to be helpful and useful with this champion? So that's really more of what you're deciding on with the champion selection. But essentially anybody can go in the jungle and kill those minions and monsters now, as long as you have the right gear on. So definitely very different from what I'm used to playing. But yeah, just played a couple games, and like the old classic runes, like used to have to like, there was like a separate resource that you would get through playing games and getting experience, where you would buy these like runes, and these runes you would put them into like a page and select which runes you wanted. They would give you bonus armor, bonus ability power, bonus attack damage, stuff like that. And so it was its own strategy to like figure out your rune pages and like purchase those specifically for the type of champions that you like playing. So going back into that old school mode was really cool to experience. But then like after like 5-6 games of that, I was like, well, I know why they made all those changes to this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they were realizing that some changes would be beneficial.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like this sort of wave of classic style, like with WoW, the classic WoW came back, made a big comeback for people. A classic, like it's a cool, for these long running games that people have kind of grown up playing.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to see them bring that back and just offer that to people who are vets of the game.
Yeah, it's nice to remember what life was like when you were a kid. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably why I like all these remasters and all that stuff. I mean, it's kind of a similar thing. Taylor, are you working on microphone stuff over there? I wasn't sure. Or are you just? I thought you were muted, so I was like, I didn't want to like call on you like a teacher in class while you're over there doing your thing.
No, funny enough, actually, I went to the Xbox website because I was like gonna see like, oh, like maybe I could just leave the thing up on my computer so I could just get it or get what I want, like which is the controller right away. And you can pre-order the controller now. I
You can
just did it.
pre-order the controller now. I saw that too. Yeah.
So I just bought the 25th anniversary Xbox
Nice.
controller.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I was excited about that. I'm sorry, what was your question?
What's a game you're playing? Just like one game you've spent time playing the last week or so.
Oh, okay, yeah. So other than Cyberpunk, which I finished up, I'm pretty much got that all wrapped up. And then Witcher 3, I'm gonna end up playing in like a month or so.
Yeah. Well, we need to talk about that before we
Yeah.
sign off.
So that'll be on the docket here. I downloaded kind of like a weird little smorgasbord today on Xbox, just of like little things I wanted to play here and there. So I might fire them up over the next couple weeks and just kind of check into it and see what happens. One of those ones was Assassin's Creed Origins, so I might get to that
Hell
also at some point soon. And then I randomly downloaded Far Cry 5 and fired that up earlier today. So, really, really cool concept for a game. You're basically like a U.S. marshal who is going after like a religious Christian like white supremacist cult in Wyoming. And like you're kind of working to like take them out. Like they have like a bunch of generals or whatever that are like the brothers that are like in the cult or whatever. So I played that like 2 hours of that today, and I had a decent time with it. I don't know just yet if it's something I'll really stick with. I need to like put more time into it, but I don't know. It just kind of sounded sort of fun, and I've been kind of curious about jumping back into Far Cry. The last time I played Far Cry was 3, and I didn't really like it that much when I first played it. Because I remember like the whole marketing, like Skyrim with guns. Remember that
Yeah, I
marketing
do
campaign?
remember that. Yeah.
So I was like, that sounds cool to me, so I'll play it. And I bought it and played it for a little bit, and like just didn't have fun with it. So I've always been curious about hopping back into Far Cry. So 5 was like the one that I really really wanted to play, and then 6 looked kind of cool too. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll stick with it just yet, but that's kind of what I'm playing. And then one of these days I got to wrap up Detroit Become Human. I'm like right at the end of it.
That game
So
is so short, dude.
I know. Well, it was kind of like my game that I played with Anna together, like on the couch for a little
Yeah.
bit. So like we got wrapped up in watching other shows and playing other stuff. So
Totally get that.
and we only played it for like an hour, maybe 2 at a time or something like that. So I'm right at the end. I think I'll try and finish that up here soon because it's like right at the end.
Yeah, you're close. Yeah, there's a number of games like that where I think, not only did we not record the show for the last few weeks, but for me, like I barely even played really hardly any games other than like a little bit of the football games here and there. I've barely touched games. I've just been so exhausted and like not there. I just wanting to sit and just watch TV or sit on the deck. And in the evening time, the smoke's not quite as bad. It kind of gets blown out. And so I have been trying to play Alan Wake 2, loving it. Loving Alan Wake 2. Oh my God, that game is good. But Alicia and I are kind of playing that together, and I totally just fell off of Alan Wake 2 and Resident Evil 8 and like all these games I've been playing. I just have not been there, not been in the place to sit down and really devote. So when we get back from Portland this weekend, next week, I'm just feeling like work is suddenly a little bit lighter. Feels a little easier. I can probably start doing other things that make me feel a little bit better. Getting out in the yard if the smoke is maybe going to improve, and just feeling just a little bit more like life is normal. And then earning the time to play these games and having that motivation. So I'm excited to get back to Alan Wake 2 because I've been absolutely loving that. So yeah, totally understand kind of leaving a game just randomly halfway through or 3/4 of the way through all of a sudden, and life just takes you on a little ride. So I get that completely. Couple quick things I'd love to discuss from Gamescom, then I guess we'll probably call it there. We've referenced it. Witcher 3 is being remastered, not just visually, but apparently they are improving the combat, the controls, and about excuse me, about 24 other things. They're redoing the skill tree, which a lot of people
Movement was a big one.
Yeah, movement and combat. Yep, absolutely. Like the way you jump over obstacles and climb up ladders and all that kind of stuff, and just the way that Geralt controls and the combat. Which I guess I'm weird. I never hated the combat in Witcher 3. Like if you read Instagram comments or YouTube comments on anything related to Witcher 3, half of it is people saying it's the greatest game ever made, and the other half of it is people saying I liked it, but the combat sucked ass, so I stopped playing the first 5 minutes. And I was like,
Oh no, I loved the combat. I just thought it was really
that
hard. Like there was kind of a learning curve to it for sure.
Yeah.
There is
I
for
don't-
sure, but
I
it's
feel-
not like Kingdom Come Deliverance.
No.
I see a lot of people say that it's like floaty and not very like the animations kind of queue up, and you end up like attacking or dodging when you thought you were doing the other. So I guess I kind of know what they mean there, but I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, I've never thought the combat movement felt floaty. I thought like just regular traversal felt kind of
Sure.
weird though.
Oh, they're adding transmogrification too, which is
Yes,
fucking
I do
awesome.
love that.
Nice.
Because some of the armor looks incredible, some of the armor looks horrible in that game.
But you got to wear it.
But you got to wear it. So I do like. I'm probably gonna just transmog the original, like the early Witcher outfit for the early stage of the game until I find something else. But yeah, I really love that idea. And they
It was like the bear armor, I think it was called.
oh
Bear
yeah,
School or
the
something like that.
Ursine, the Ursine. I think it's the Ursine or Ursine armor.
Yeah. Ugh.
I always liked, not necessarily because of the look. The look is fine, but I really liked. I always did the school of the cat. I am a very I like dodging everything, and super mobile and like never even letting anybody hit me, is kind of my thing. And so
my
school of the cat armor was some of my favorite.
Yeah, I think my only complaint, if I had to pick something about the combat, is just making other things a little bit stronger, a little bit more useful. Because I definitely felt like a lot of the times it was like most of the spells I'm not using because it's just more effective to just stay engaged with your melee.
Yeah.
So like maybe doing a little bit more with some of the ranged crossbow stuff, or making some of the other spells a little bit more useful, like the flame igni spell is kind of underwhelming, and it feels like that could be pretty strong. And
Yeah.
because maybe you want to play like more of a spell casting Geralt,
Yeah, and some of the and on the other end of that spectrum, some of them were overly powerful. Like Quen,
Yes.
you just put your
Yeah.
shield on yourself over and over and over and over and over again, and the
Oh,
first
yeah.
hit never does. It's like it's a little bit too much. Like there should be some animals that or enemies or whatever that can just like hit you
Hit through the
directly
shield.
through it and do at least like half damage or something like that, just to make it a little bit less of a fail safe.
Right.
Also, I was looking through the armors. I do like the cat stuff, but it's actually the wolf armor that I got, which is like the medium. It's like the middle ground between heavy and the light. It's like the medium armor. That's the armor that because the school armors, like the school of the cat, the griffin, the wolf, the bear. It's so cool because you do all these quests to find all the pieces and like create. You have to like have them made by a master or whatever.
Mhm.
And then there's more questing you got to do to upgrade them. There's like 5 upgrades, and it changes the look of it every single time. Like the fully upgraded wolf armor is some of my favorite. That's the one
That
I did
is dope
my
looking.
last playthrough. Really, really liked that a lot. Yeah, so here's my issue. This is incredible. It's a free upgrade, for God's sakes. Song of the Sword is coming out sometime next year. I am
Songs
in this
of the past.
song. Oh, thank you. Songs of the Past. Thank you very much.
Of the past swords.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be swords involved.
I was thinking of Sword Song, which is one of the books,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
which is why my brain was doing that, I think. So I'm sort of stuck between I want to play something new. I absolutely have to do a replay of Witcher 3 now with this remaster. I want to be so it's either that I play through Witcher 3 again prior to Songs of the Past, or I wait for Songs of the Past to come out and I just do a full replay then. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. Because the thing is,
I guess it depends on when you think it's going to drop next year.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably summertime, but I don't know
Yeah.
for sure. Because the thing is like, I mean, the Blood of Dawnwalker comes out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
tough.
having a hard time figuring out when I would fit this in.
You know, so I don't think I'm going to play this immediately. Though, if they do make, I hope they make a physical copy of the remaster. It sounds like it's just a free upgrade, which is cool. But I really hope they do like a physical release for it. You know, I just
Me
think that'd be
too.
sick with new art, with the new key art. And I would buy that in a second.
Agreed.
Shout out to CDPR for doing all this for
Shout
free.
out, man.
Just,
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense for them because it's incredible. They could have charged. Absolutely.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
would have paid for it.
And I would have paid it. Yeah.
Yeah, $20, $30, whatever. The thing that's funny about it is that I was reading an article about there's like they have to make a for the CEO's bonuses and like not just the CEO but everyone in the company who has a bonus structure. There's different levels that they have to hit as far as like you need to make this much money or that much money in these quarters in order for these bonuses to go through. So they're like incentives. And I guess a big reason why they wanted to do Songs of the Past was sure get everybody back into The Witcher again, get the new developers caught up before they really start getting, put everybody onto Witcher 4 because they're developing Witcher 4 right now. But it's also because they knew that they could get this out in time and charge money for it, and based on their projections of what they're going to hit sales wise, they'll make enough money to hit all their incentives. So so it's sort of like the company is doing it because it's going to make them a lot more money, but they're also it's like it's going to help. So then they're like, well, we should do something for the people too. So they're making this remaster and they're going to give it to everybody for free, so we're all caught up and we can buy the DLC and they can hit their bonuses. That is the kind of capitalism I can get behind.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you is good for me. Like,
Right.
you put some work in, I'll give you my money for it. Like, that feels great. I'm happy to pay for that DLC, and I can't wait. So I'll probably wait and do a full playthrough when that comes out, because I really want to play Dawnwalker, which comes out next week. I'm probably going to hold off starting that until I get Alan Wake and a few other these shorter games done. I want to get these wrapped up. So I'll probably jump into Blood of Dawnwalker here in like the next 3 or 4
Dawn
weeks.
of Bloodwalker.
No, it's Blood of
No,
Dawnwalker.
I was
Don't-
just kidding.
Do that to me.
Dawn of Bloodsword.
Song. The only other thing I wanted to bring up, there's probably more, but I don't know if you guys saw. Did you see the disc to digital thing that Xbox did?
Yeah, I did.
I love that. I mean, it's not perfect, right? We know the digital future is here, but at least they're stepping up to the plate more than anybody else is right now and saying, if you have a physical library, you put that shit into your Xbox, we'll give you the digital license for it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like, okay. Absolutely.
That's going to be like the easy. I mean, like, I hate the idea of the next generation being all digital, but if you're going to allow me the easy onboarding of bringing over the stuff I already have to go there, then like, it's
Yeah, that's
definitely
good.
like the best fix you can get.
Yeah. The only other fix we need now is just some kind of like legalese about what purchasing a digital game, what rights that gives you as the consumer and owner of that game, right? Because that's the biggest issue now is that there's still just this concern that you're kind of just buying access, And the company that sold you that access can remove that access anytime they want to. And it might seem like, why would they ever want to? But like, I don't know. We don't know yet. But the fact that the precedent is there means someone will do it at some point for some reason.
Mhm.
And we want to be able to keep the games that we buy to own them. So I hope we can figure that out. It would probably take getting like the feds involved at some point, which is the way it is, I guess. We'll see. Anything else you guys wanted to cover from like Gamescom or anything? I know there's a lot more. We can do a full episode later if we want, but those
I
are
didn't
just
watch
like,
most of it.
I really wanted to talk about those things. The Witcher 3 thing is super cool.
Apparently, because they're partnering with Blizzard on this, and if you purchase the expansion on Blizzard's platform, you get like a special Geralt skin in Diablo 4, which is kind of a cool thing.
Oh, very cool.
Not that I play
Yeah.
the game.
I remember saying that it was coming to Blizzard, and I was like, what a weird thing
Yeah.
to
weird
do.
thing. Yeah, I
Come to
don't.
BattleNet. Like, what the fuck?
Please play Diablo. No, I think I'll just play Witcher 3.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play Witcher 3, please. Yeah, pretty cool. Anything else, gentlemen, you wanted to cover this evening? It's been a weird episode. We had the break in the middle, and
Yeah. Sorry
That
about that.
picture
I'll be
sure
back
is
with a
pretty cool,
new
isn't
mic
it?
next week,
Oh,
everybody. So
there's nothing to apologize for at all. It's just something that shit happens. How many times have we listened to like podcasts that we listen to all the time that are professional podcasts? They do it for a living, and they'll like in the middle of the conversation, they'll be like, "Sorry, we had a massive crash." It just happens.
yeah.
It happens. It's part of it.
That picture that they have for the remastered version looks freaking awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
it
the
does.
artwork.
The artwork looks incredible.
Yeah, dude, that's why I want a physical release because I want to own that case.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. I just love the idea of that. I hope they do it. But
Just remaster this game like every 5 years, please.
please, yeah, I'll keep playing it, and then the fourth one will come out. Oh God, just can't wait.
And then aren't they remaking the first one too?
Apparently, I
Some
haven't
other
heard.
studio.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that in a long time. But yeah, I wonder if it's going to be that Fool's Theory team, which is the people who are developing
That would be cool.
Songs of the Past. So that'll be cool if they do it. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
Me too.
Well, they contributed to Baldur's Gate 3 and Divinity 2.
Fool's Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I guess they have some talent from the original Witcher 3 team as well. That game got created and was like this incredible thing, and then like a bunch of people left, and it just seeded all of these other teams, and because
everybody's taken from the the Witcher coaching tree.
Yeah, like exactly. It's like Belichick or something. It's like everyone's trying, except for hopefully it's more successful than those coaches were.
Right.
Turns out those coaches didn't have Belichick or Tom Brady, so that didn't really work out for them. Cool. All right, guys. Well, let's call it a night here. This was a fun way to kind of get back into it. We'll be here every week for the foreseeable future. Excited. This felt great. It felt good to see you guys, talk to you guys. For everybody listening and writing in, thank you very much. Kyle, you talked about it might be 100 episodes, and you haven't been on very many. But my response to that was, at some point, you will have been on more than you have not been on. So our plan is to keep going.
Quickly
and
approaching.
when we hit episode 200, you will have been on the majority of the episodes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so excited for that. Excited to get back into games a little bit more, and just feeling better about life. And I'm hoping a little bit of cold air will start to sweep through and put these fires out and bring us the end of the year. Dude, hot smoke, I'm good. I don't need any more of this shit.
Right.
No, I just want it to still be hot. But
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the part of what's creating all the fires. It's like a terrible combo. We just need one or the other, please. I don't need. Just give me the heat. I like the heat for a while too, but it's just right now I'm just associating it with the smoke.
yeah, it's rough.
It's like, please go away. Yeah, really looking forward to that. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great, safe weekend, and we are very excited to see you all next week for episode 101. Later.
See you guys. Stay safe.
Later, guys.